Welcome back, everybody. Ian Hayes, aka Mama G here, co-creator, along with, as I always say, the prime creator of Fiercely Fulfilled Feminine, where I help star seeds to heal sexual trauma, reclaim their power, and experience true fulfillment through what I call the sacred sexuality reclamation method. Now, today's topic, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be fascinating as always because I get down to it. It is literally, I'd like to speak to why sexual trauma literally hinders in a huge way one's ability to receive. It's not about self love. I'm going to tell you right now. That may be an aspect, but if you want to get to the root cause of it, it's not even that. So we're going to get into it. So first of all, I'm going to share with you why that is, but I'm going to give you an energetically, physiologically, biologically connected perspective, esoteric, mystical in nature, and really explain to you why that is. So first of all, you could stop shaming yourself. And if you're somebody who knows somebody who's experienced sexual trauma, who may be having financial struggle or maybe having trouble receiving in different ways in their life and the way it's showing up, that you are not shaming them because we don't heal through shame. We heal through understanding and compassion and love. So, with that being said, I'm going to end as always with some ways that you can begin to resolve that. Now, first of all, you don't learn to receive. That whole thing about you just have to learn to receive, honey. No, you heal to receive. And I'm about to share why that is right now. Okay. So here's the deal. Let's talk divine energy, divine masculine energy, divine feminine energy that is found within all of us. Then let's get right to that sex center, the sacral chakra, the second energy vortex in the body where the womb is located. I'm going to focus specifically on women right now, but this affects men as well. Okay, this is how it affects women, especially since we're in this breaking down and deconstructing and transmuting this patriarchal system. This is particularly important for women to hear. Okay, so think about, let's look at a typical heterosexual couple, even though this can happen in different kind of couples because it truly is about energy. Okay, so you have the predominantly masculine and dominant masculine energy. Okay, so that has been represented in this 3D matrix as a penis. Okay, it's linear, it projects, it's very direct, it plants a seed. Okay, we're evolving into eventually light conception, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. That's a little woohoo. Okay, so that is very symbolic of okay, here I come. And yet a woman, okay, is the one who is the container. So the penis is like the spark. It's the one that plants the seed. So let's say we want to procreate. Let's say it's a baby. Okay. Initially we could say it's a baby, but we can procreate many things. Okay. So the penis comes in order for that penis to get in there. A woman needs to open her legs, open up and receive the seed for procreation. Not just of babies, but of dreams and projects and visions. Gestation happens within the womb. So there's the linear, there's the seed, there's the spark, there's the container, the sacred container that receives that seed and then brings that hopefully to life and births that, whether it's a baby, a galaxy, a universe, a special dream, financial abundance, a dream partner, whatever it is. It's energy. It's energy. Okay. You've got to open those legs. Now, that's the physiological, biological aspect, and yet there's an energetic aspect. I said I was going to get to that as well. You see, if a woman, I'm going to focus on a woman in particular here, has been sexually traumatized, sexually violated, let's focus on coming in through the vagina. Okay. Maybe it's, I'm not going to get into details of how that happens, but here's the thing. This is what happens to a woman, whether it's a child, child abuse or rape or what have you, is all of a sudden the message that is received is, oh, wow, it's not safe to receive. It's dangerous, actually. And it actually is painful and it's scary. And so I have all these, you might say, I have all these dreams and I have all these visions. Oh my God, I have so many ideas. I'm so creative. I'm so inspired. You might be saying to yourself, and so you go ahead and you follow these inspired action steps. You maybe even you sign up with these coaches and you read all these books and you do blah, 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 blah. And yet you're not getting the same results. And what you're being told again and again and again is, oh, you don't have enough self-love. Oh, sorry, honey, you still have some unlimiting belief systems that still need to become unpacked, which in a sense is true, okay? Um, and you just need to learn how to receive. You need to learn how to receive. No, you don't need to learn how to receive. I'm going to say it again. You heal to receive. Because if your body received something by force, without love, that was about control and power and self-service to the person who did the violating, and it was nothing about you, and it created trauma, and you felt like you didn't matter, like you were worthless, because why would somebody do that to you and hijack your sexual energy? So yes, you received that seed, yet it wasn't by choice. It wasn't in a loving container. It wasn't divine. It wasn't in a space where you were relaxed and felt safe. If anything, your nervous system was probably on high alert and you were probably very tense. And so your nervous system is in the habit of, oh my goodness, somebody's offering something. Oh, okay, I want to birth this dream. But there's something real deep inside of you. And it's not even, it goes deeper than an unconscious belief because these beliefs are stored within the cells. It's trapped in these painful memories within the body. The body needs to be healed. The body needs to experience something different, scaffolding, so to speak, where the body begins to feel safe so that the body can then send a message to the brain because it's all connected and say, hey, we're good to go now. You can chill out. We can now bring those cortisol levels back to their normal baseline instead of a heightened baseline so that you don't feel stressed all the time, so that you can actually relax and enjoy receiving, enjoy sex, enjoy pleasure, and enjoy receiving in whatever way that is. Receiving, a fair exchange for the effort that you're putting in, for the knowledge and the wisdom that you're gaining, to receive in exchange for the service that you offer to others. You see, it's healing. You don't need another mindset coach. You don't need another wealth coach. You don't need another manifestation coach because here's the thing, until that body is healed and it feels safe enough to receive, that cervical portal, which is literally the portal of procreation, of manifestation, of literally not just coming up with dreams and visions, but birthing those is what's needed. You see, this is what happens with sexual trauma is because that sexual energy has been hijacked. It'll show up and, okay, you're working really, really hard, doing all the things that you're told to do, maybe working twice as hard as the next person, and yet you're not experiencing financial abundance. In fact, you're probably, if you, like me, have experienced a great deal of financial struggle. Not because you don't have the intelligence, you don't have the degrees, not that you need that, not that you don't have the training or the experience or what have you, or the know-how or the will. It's because of the trauma. So it shows up in all these ways. And it's not just financial struggles. It shows up in fertility issues because that's sacral chakra, the sex center, is about fertility. It's about creativity. It's about fun. It's about pleasure. It's about all of that. It's about tapping into your sensuality and your sexuality. So sensuality is opening up the heart out there and saying, oh, wow, look at me. Look at me. I'm ready to receive. And then you come in and you receive. You see, a woman at the height of orgasm is actually going to draw in. That's sexual. Sensual says, my heart is open. I'm ready, baby. Okay, bring it in. Sexual is when it's this, okay, I'm ready to receive that seed, to birth my dreams, my visions, my desires, all of it. And yet the heart, which is connected here, okay, you've got forced lust without the love. It's all a big mess. Okay. So it's being able to heal enough to bring that sensuality back, to allow that seed to come in, allow yourself to receive, to literally energetically open up your legs, open up your heart, open up your sex center, open up that cervical portal that says it's safe to receive the manifestation of all your desires, the perfect divine partnership, money, and whatever way that shows up, friendship, connection, inspiration, ideas, divine guidance, connection to the God self, to connection to the Mother, Father, God, to the great goddess of the universe, to yourself. You see, that is the real challenge with being able to receive. So I had to learn that in a very painful way because I was shamed for others, and then I allowed others to shame me because I was ashamed that no matter what I seemed to do, no matter how much healing I seemed to do, no matter how much money I invested in time, I just wasn't getting results. And I kept being told, you need to learn to love yourself more. You have more unlimiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, excuse me. You have more healing, blah, 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 blah. You need to learn to receive. If I didn't say that already, come through the body is the point of entry. You need to be nurtured. Okay, so here's what we do about it. Here's what you do about it. I used to teach. I taught for years, so I know how to scaffold, which means one gentle step at a time. You're not going to jump out there and grab a partner and have some great sex, open up, no. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. I guess it could happen that way if you found the right person. Unlikely, however, because whether you are overexpressed sexually or repressed, it's still the same challenge as far as an equal balance of giving and receiving. Because the other aspect of it is receiving. Okay, but what you're receiving, if it's overexpressed and if you've been sexualized in some way, especially at a young age, overexpressed is a different problem altogether, because what happens is you're receiving a bad seed, essentially, because if you are looking for external validation and you are still in your trauma and you're looking for that quick fix, that dopamine hit, what's going to happen is you are going to attract somebody on that same frequency, and you are literally going to be exchanging trauma in the frequency as far as you're meeting each other where you're at. So it's a huge trauma dump. So you get bad seed after bad seed after bad seed. So maybe you're receiving, but what actually are you manifesting? And is it really what you want? Are you getting true connection to life? Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel inner peace? Do you feel aligned with your integrity and your value system? Okay, so I just felt like I needed to put that in there as well. So let's begin to look at how we can resolve that. Number one, let's see what I put here. First of all, an awareness right here. I'm here to share the awareness of that, to help you to begin to shed some of the shame around the fact that you have struggled, and you've struggled in a big way, and maybe for a long time, like it was for me. I'm definitely at a point where I'm connecting a lot more. I'm enjoying the safety of enjoying my own body. I definitely have become really good at receiving, asking and receiving in a lot of different ways. Okay, so this stuff works. I'm living proof. Okay, and let's see what I have. So awareness. Number one is you need to be able to restabilize the nervous system, because your nervous system is on hyper vigilance, hyper awareness, just overload, just, oh my God, I'm not safe. I need to protect myself. I might need to freeze, take off, or fight. Okay. And there are more in there, like fawn and all that, but I'm not going to get into those right now. So the cortisol levels actually have a baseline that's heightened, never drops back to normal. So we want to be able to deal with that. So somatic healing techniques that use the body as the point of entry, energy healing, acupuncture, kundalini yoga, even being witnessed by other women, just tapping into your body and feeling into the physiological sensations and into the emotions that may be attached to those sensations. So it's reconnecting to the body, and there are techniques to do that. I do what's known as the body reconnect, and I mean, even yoga, okay? There's different types of yoga flows and moves that actually can stimulate spontaneous release and tears and whatnot. There's just, aromatherapy. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blanket, but there are so many different ways, EFT, emotional freedom technique, so many, even just this. I cried like a baby when I was in a part of an online healing women's circle. And all she asked us to do, she goes, just apply a little what is known as is it sabrosura? Little softness. Okay. Sabrosura, I think is more like flavorfulness. If we did a direct translation in Spanish. And I was like, oh my God, such a gentle touch. Like I haven't had that in so long. And I cried like a baby. So that obviously is something that you can do. Show up within a community of especially women who shared your trauma, not share it, but can understand your trauma and are willing to be there and hold so sacred space for you. So obviously releasing those trapped emotions is and start receiving support. Start saying yes. Every single time somebody says, "Oh, can I do this for you?" or "Would you like help?" Yes. It's not, oh, don't worry about it, I'm good. No, yes. That starts to build something in you, build new neural pathways, and build something within your body wisdom that is now telling your body, oh my goodness, it's okay, I'm safe now because I just received. Maybe it's something as simple as receiving a compliment. Maybe it's something as simple as receiving a ride, whatever it is, or somebody says, you know what, I got you. Let's go out tonight and do some drop-in bachata, whatever. Okay, I got you. It's $15. Okay, I got you. I'm going to treat you. Okay, I'm going to treat you to a cup of matcha tea, whatever. That you could see what's in my world, and just say yes, and just feel the oh wow, that's wonderful that somebody would offer that and want to share that with me. And you can even like take your hands and just put on your chest and say, wow, that feels really good. And what I even do, I have a notebook, and every single day I write down all the different ways, all the different magical ways that love has shown up and things that I'm grateful for. It could be just something as simple. Somebody gives me a hug, somebody tells me they love me, somebody tells me about some like hip hop lesson, hip hop classes or whatever that are happening around the corner. Like it's like to me, that's big stuff, okay? Because it's something exciting. Or like, oh my God, it's vibrant, there's vibrant sunshine today. Oh, the breeze in the trees. It sounds so cliche and corny, but when you actually start to write that down, it's a way of receiving because that's all of that is a gift from the divine. Says, hey, I'm going to bring this tree to you today. I'm going to bring this little birdie to you today. And you're like, oh my goodness. And you receive it. You receive it. Of course, it's easier with time and more healing to receive and to be more grateful. Okay. Soothing yourself. And that includes self-pleasure. Okay. So I'm like when you put cream on, it's part of just giving to yourself and receiving from yourself. And see, when you're the one doing the giving and the receiving, you feel it's a lot, you build that safety zone pretty quickly because it's you. And hopefully you trust yourself. And it's just like those soft touches. And when you put on cream, just really take the time and just really enjoy the luxury of putting cream on your skin. Whatever it is, self-care practices are a great way to give to yourself and to receive mani-pedis. Like look down at your toes. If you would not take your shoes off right now or go out in public with the way your feet look right now, then you may want to look at that as giving to yourself and then receiving. Self-pleasure is a biggie, biggie. I mean, we're talking about sexual trauma, we're talking about sacred sexuality. So taking the time to really self-pleasure and to be present with yourself. And obviously I break that down as to how that might look for you. Okay. That is really, really important. And I've said this before, I do make the distinction between masturbation and self-pleasure. Either way is fine. Okay, because hormones are good feeling hormones are released and it does relax you. However, self-pleasure allows yourself to practice receiving with devotion, where you bring the divine in the mix and you're bringing in all your senses and you're bringing in a sense of safety, okay? And you're calm. You're calm when you're self-pleasuring. Masturbation is not necessarily calm. It's almost like this need. And remember, that was part of what happened with the sexual trauma. It was a need that came in from control and the need to overpower somebody and the need to fulfill an unmet need that was kind of driven in a way that maybe this person couldn't control it. Okay. So that's why I like to make the distinction between masturbation and self-pleasure. Okay. I do something called yoni trigger release therapy. I learned this from Ivy Lucy online, who focuses on tantra and sexuality and sensuality. I also do something, work with the inner yoni child, which is huge. A lot of healing with that. I would say even lie on your back. Like if you're not in the habit, like if you're at the point where you really don't feel safe and you kind of like think about it. If you're curled up in a ball, like this is used to be me when I slept. I was literally curled up in a ball, wrapped in a blanket, covered with the stuffed animal on my face. Like I couldn't really, I don't know how I could breathe. I was literally like this in a ball. If just notice how you sleep, what your body is doing, and just see if you can relax and maybe even lie on your back for a little bit. I would say what I get a yoga mat or just get on, lie on the floor and just lie on your back and open up your legs. And you might already be used to doing that. You can sit in a pose that's known as Supta Baddha Konasana, where you're literally just putting the soles of feet together and then your your knees splay out and just leave it open there. You can scaffold, and the next step might be like you're in a bridge pose and you're like doing these undulations, okay? Like I said, you just keep doing more and more where you feel more and more comfortable in your body. Now, what with me, okay, my focus is sacred sexuality. My focus is to help you to heal your trauma at deeper, deeper layers so that you feel more confident with your body. You can reconnect to your body. You can reconnect to your authentic voice. You can create deeper connections with yourself, with the God self, with all of life and with others. And you learn to kind of just go with the flow and you become more detached and you're able to surrender more easily. And the big thing is you're able to not only receive, but ask to receive. Wow. Imagine that if you're in the bedroom and not even the bedroom. You get practice outside of the bedroom because I haven't had practice in the bedroom yet, except with myself, but it's coming. Little, oh my God, let me stop. Practice receiving. Because if you can ask for like, and if you have a partner, practice asking, ask for what you want. Like that's about receiving. Because trust me, just your partner, God, whatever, wants to give you what you want. So you can ask and then receive. Okay, so I don't know where I went with that, but anyways, get in the habit of receiving first and then being bold about asking and then receiving and being okay with receiving, guilt-free, shame-free, feeling good to go with how it's showing up for you because you have a specific divine blueprint that tells you that you're exactly where you are meant to be. Yes, we have free will. Free will for me is essentially just surrendering to that divine blueprint. You can make all the choices that you want. You can have a lower timeline. You can choose that. Except God, the Mother, Father, God wants you to have the highest timeline, wants you to have all your greatest beautiful desires. And so that's one of the reasons why the Divine Feminine Christ is coming back online. That's why there's a lot of talk about sacred sexuality. That's why we are all healing and coming together to especially heal sexual trauma so that we can dissolve these sexual misery programs on the planet. And it's one of the reasons that I'm showing up. Okay. So with that being said, what I've been divinely guided to host right now, facilitate rather, are what are known as Sister Starseed Healing Circles. It's once a week, no long-term commitment. You don't have to like subscribe, literally because I am being financially supported. I have so much abundance and I'm receiving so many blessings in my life that I am being divinely guided to offer this for just $9.99 every week at this point, where you can decide if you want to sign up for that week or not. No commitment for the ongoing week. You decide. Because part of what I understand too on a healing journey related to sexual trauma is that it can get overwhelming at times. You can go real deep at times. And committing to a weekly program or anything can be a bit much because the amount of release that sometimes has to happen. Okay, it's that what they call the shadow work, the inner work, the dark. It's not the dark feminine, but it's part of it. Okay, so at any rate, yeah, that's where that is. And I also do one-on-one coaching. Okay. I have an in-person event. So if you're in Santa Barbara this Saturday, let's go for it. September 27th, 2025. At any rate, there's a lot of different ways that I could help you to to heal your sexual trauma at deeper levels and allow you to receive in the way that you know you deserve and the way that you know you are meant to. I help you to stop that struggle. So I also I'm going to drop the link to that Sister Starseed sharing circle. I've already shared it privately. I'm now opening it up and it is limited. It is limited. I'm not doing the one to many. I'm not doing the one to many because of the nature of the trauma and the importance of women showing up and feeling safe, knowing they can trust who else is there. They need to be able to know and to see who else is there. So this is not going to be a one to many. So spots are very much limited. Okay, so I'm going to drop that link in the comments. I'm also going to drop a link into a private video that I've made related to the three key discoveries that I've made on my own journey that have created profound shifts in my own accelerated healing and transformation. So that's that. That's that. I would love if you would like, comment, subscribe, share again, because it helps to get that information out there and it supports me in being able to better support you and others and those who need in need. I love you so much. You have a beautiful day. I pray that helped. You deserve to receive, why you might not be receiving, and how to get that back. Love you so much. Peace.